This story is about the hidden rots in your roof that can happen if you don't get it maintained properly, or if you just don't have the right roofer who can figure out what that niggling small leak is all about. We recently got a request from a real estate agent out in the western suburbs of Sydney, and it reads, "Hello, the owner would like the roof of the main house inspected and quoted if any repairs are required, and also quoted to clean the roof. Thanks." Now, when we get vague requests like this, we always wonder if there's anything hidden behind the request. So the first thing we do is contact the tenant and ask them if there are any leaks on the roof. If the roof is not leaking, then it's just a roof inspection, and we don't need to organize with the tenant a time to go into the house to check out where the leak is occurring. In this instance, the tenant responded that indeed there was a leak inside the house. So we organized a time and we went out and did some investigation work. I'm only here to look at the leak. So what actually happens?
So what happens is when it's raining,
it drips down the wall.
Comes down through the wall.
And drips down the door here. You see those marks?
Yeah, no, it's...
Oh, so every time it rains, or only heavy rain, or what?
Medium to heavy rain, I'd say.
Only medium heavy rain. So
like if it's like lightly drizzling, it's
it doesn't.
okay.
Okay.
So as soon as it gets any heavier,
it starts to drip.
Yeah.
It's a weird spot.
Okay. Yeah, we've had people look at it before and say, and basically not come back after that because I'm assuming the previous owner.
Now it looks like a fairly standard roof in the outer suburbs of Sydney. It's an old concrete tile roof. It's been painted, and there are a few maintenance issues that look fairly obvious. But the location and the manner of the leak got us quite confused. So we started taking tiles out to figure out what actually was happening. Now we've come across TV aerials that are anchored through roof tiles onto the main rafters, and they often leak. But you would think that on a roof like this with no sarking, that the leak would appear directly below where the anchor is, that leaking anchor. Not so. And I guess this is the reason why so many roofers have had a look at it and haven't been able to figure out why there's a leak at the wall and there's nothing wrong above where the leak is happening. And this leak remained hidden for many, many, many years. I think it would have been leaking well before this roof was painted. You can see that the rafters all stained and starting to season. And because of the nature of the leak and the fact that it's a tenanted house and it's managed by an agent, these factors mean that the small leaks that are really hard to track remain hidden, no one looks at them, and over time severe rot happens. And it's quite weird how this particular leak propagates from the anchor down to the wall, well away from the anchor, and that's the reason that no one spotted it. But the rafter itself is saved from the fact that it is at a pitch. So the water dribbles down the rafter, then it runs all the way down to the wall plate, and the wall plate sits on the wall directly above the door that leaks every time it rains heavily or for a long time. And after years and years of the top plate getting wet, it looks like the white ants have got in and just eaten the top plate away. So there is now no top plate. But the leak is still happening because the water just keeps running down the rafter and it drips down the wall cavity onto the head of the door. Now, I happen to have had a few requests recently from homeowners asking me if I could remove their TV aerials. simply because most people don't use TV aerials nowadays. And their question usually is, should I just leave my TV aerial on the roof? And is it going to cause me any long-term problems? So the lesson here to homeowners who've got TV aerials that are unused or other things that are lying on the roof that are redundant, you should get them removed because potentially they could cause you roof leaks that you are not aware of and could rot out part of your structure.